Hey everyone, welcome to The Explainer. I am absolutely thrilled you're joining us today. Look, if you've been sitting on a killer skill and wondering how to turn it into a booming, independent career this year, you are in the exact right place. Today, we're walking through the ultimate 2024 freelancers roadmap. We've taken what is basically a comprehensive 2-hour masterclass and distilled it down into a dynamic, fast-paced presentation. We're going to cover everything from setting up your very first profile to landing those high-paying clients, and most importantly, how to do it safely and strategically. And the absolute best part, you can do the whole thing in your sweatpants.
So, are you ready to finally work on your own terms? Leaving the 9-to-5 grind behind is kind of the ultimate dream, right? But before we get totally swept away in the romance of being our own boss, we've got to ground ourselves in reality. Our source material for today drops a pretty massive truth bomb right out of the gate. Finding freelance work is actually a completely different skill than doing the freelance work. You could literally be the best web developer on the planet, but if you don't know how to market yourself, you're just not going to make a dime.
Okay, let's dive into this roadmap so you know exactly where we're headed today. First, we'll weigh the pros and cons of freelancing. Then, choosing the right platform, mastering Fiverr and gigs, and winning jobs on Upwork. After that, we're expanding to Guru and LinkedIn, and finally wrapping up with beginner pricing and strategy.
Let's kick things off with Section 1, Freelancing, Pros and Cons. It's time to bust a few myths about what independent work really looks like. To put it simply, freelancing means earning your money on a project or contract basis, rather than relying on a steady, full-time salary. Think of it like this. If a client needs a website, they aren't hiring you full-time. Instead, you agree to build their site in, say, 30 days for a fixed sum. Let's call it $500. You totally dictate when and how you work during those 30 days. You want to work at 2 a.m. from your couch? Go for it. Once you deliver the project, you get paid, and you're on to the next one. It's so flexible you can even do it alongside your regular job or your classes. But, it's definitely a double-edged sword. The pros are amazing. Total flexibility, remote work, and basically uncapped earning potential. If you hustle and take on 5 projects a month, your income scales right up with you. But there is a flip side. You have zero job security. Your income is going to fluctuate wildly from month to month, which honestly makes financial planning pretty stressful. Plus, you have to manage yourself entirely. Oh, and the scariest part? Bad debts. Because the freelance market isn't perfectly regulated, there's a very real nightmare scenario where clients just disappear without paying you. Moving right along to Section 2, choosing the right platform. Because honestly, where you choose to set up shop totally dictates how you play the game. Now, what's really interesting about this breakdown is just how differently these platforms operate. Fiverr works on a gig-based model, meaning clients actually come to you, and they use an awesome escrow system to keep your payments safe. Upwork, on the other hand, is bidding-based. You're actively pitching for jobs, but the trade-off is they have verified clients, which is a huge plus. Guru is this fantastic middle ground for beginners, with a bidding model that gives you free pitches. And then there's LinkedIn. It's all direct outreach, so you've got to hustle to find clients, but the massive bonus? They take literally 0% commission from your pay, unlike the 20% cut some of the other platforms grab right off the top.
All right, let's zoom in on Section 3, Mastering Fiverr and Gigs. This is all about building your digital storefront.
So Fiverr is wildly popular globally, especially in massive markets like India, Pakistan, and Bangladesh. And to win there, you have to treat your profile like a search engine. Step 1 is absolutely vital. Write an SEO-optimized description. If you're a web developer, words like HTML, CSS, website design, and front-end developer need to naturally pop up in your bio. Then, make sure you add highly relevant skill tags, because that is exactly how the platform's algorithm is going to match you with clients who are searching for those specific words.
And that builds right into the core of the platform, the gig. On Fiverr, you aren't scrolling through endless job boards trying to apply for open roles. Instead, you create a gig, which is basically a predefined service package. Think of it as your own digital storefront. You are productizing your service so a client can just browse, click, and buy your skills, exactly like they were buying a pair of shoes off Amazon.
To really maximize your earning potential here, Fiverr lets you break your service down into 3 distinct tiers. This is brilliant because it caters to totally different client budgets. So for example, if you build websites, your basic tier might be a simple one-page site. delivered in 7 days with one revision for, let's say, $300. Your standard tier could be a 5-page site for $1,000. And your premium tier? That's the whole shebang. A 10-page e-commerce site in 21 days with priority support and unlimited revisions for $3,000. It's all about giving clients options while intelligently upselling your time. Let's shift gears to Section 4, Winning Jobs on Upwork. This is a completely different beast where you have to proactively pitch to win contracts. So the crucial point here is understanding how connects work. Connects are basically digital tokens that Upwork gives you to submit proposals. When a client posts a job, it might cost you 2, 4, or maybe even 6 connects just to send in your application. Now, as a beginner, you start with a pretty limited free pool, maybe 50 connects, and if you run out, you literally have to buy more with real money, meaning you absolutely cannot afford to just blindly apply to every single job you see. You've got to be highly strategic.
Because those connects are so precious, your pitch, your cover letter, has to be flawless. Our source material makes this abundantly clear. Never ever copy and paste a generic response. A winning cover letter gets straight to the point about who you are. It proves you actually bothered to read their job description by briefly summarizing the project back to them. Then you hit them with a custom pitch showing exactly how you are going to solve their specific problem. Finally, wrap it up with a clear call to action, like, hey, let's chat. Tailoring your pitch is literally the only way you're going to stand out from the 50 other freelancers begging for that exact same job.
Now, while you're out there hunting for jobs on Upwork, we need a quick reality check. Remember those bad debts we talked about earlier? To avoid getting scammed or accidentally working for free, you should only ever spend your connects on clients who have the payment verified tag right on their profile. All that means is Upwork has already verified their credit card or bank details. If they aren't verified, the risk that they might be a scammer skyrockets. So please protect your time and your sanity. Moving on to Section 5, expanding to Guru and LinkedIn. Because relying on just one platform is a huge risk, and it's time to diversify your digital footprint.
Seriously, banking on just one platform is dangerous. Algorithms change, accounts can get flagged, you need backups. Guru is this fantastic, kind of under-the-radar platform to add your rotation. While they do limit you to 10 free bids a month on the basic plan, it's a stellar place to start because there's just slightly less competition than Upwork. But you want to know what the real untapped goldmine is? LinkedIn. You can totally optimize your profile there with your portfolio and directly message business owners who need your exact skills. And the absolute best part? LinkedIn takes absolutely zero cut of your pay. It's all yours.
Finally, we arrive at Section 6, Beginner Pricing and Strategy. Let's talk about how to price yourself when you're starting from scratch.
Okay, picture this. You've got your profiles set up, but you have 0 reviews. How on earth do you convince a client to take a chance on you over someone with a massive 5-star history? Well, it all comes down to your initial pricing strategy. If you're an absolute beginner, the source strongly recommends setting your starting hourly rate somewhere between $5 and $10, depending on your niche. Look, I know that number might seem painfully low, especially if you know your skills are sharp, but you've got to view this not as your permanent salary, but as a completely necessary stepping stone. I want you to frame this whole flow as your probation period. For the first few months, your goal isn't to make a fortune, it's to build an undeniable, highly rated profile. You take on work for those low initial rates, but you completely over-deliver on the quality. That secures you those glowing 5-star reviews and gives you real-world examples for your portfolio. Once you've built a proven track record on the platform, that's when you aggressively raise your prices to match your true market value. Think of that early, low-income work as a literal investment in your profile's future algorithm ranking. And this brilliantly illustrates the overarching theme of our entire guide today. Really let this quote sink in for a second. The hardest part isn't doing the freelance work. It's finding the freelance work. Your technical skills, that's only half the battle. Your very first and most important job as a freelancer is learning how to become a marketer for yourself. Which brings us to the end of this explainer. You now understand the platforms, the bidding strategies, how to price yourself to get those crucial first reviews, and exactly how to stay safe from scams. You've already got the skills. So the only question left for you is, which platform are you going to set your profile up on and conquer first?
Get out there today, take action, and start building your freelance empire. Thanks so much for hanging out with us, and happy freelancing.